Good afternoon. My name is Kalisha Garrett, and I am the Executive Director of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce and also the principal owner of Gen X Consulting Group. I, too, like many of you, am a small, young minority entrepreneur here in the city of New Orleans, looking to grow my business and to connect with many of the people who are in this room. I stand before you to share greetings and welcome you to the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce Annual Policy Luncheon. First of all, I would like to acknowledge any elected officials, past and present, who are in the room. I would ask you to please stand. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. Additionally, I would like to ask, and this has never been done before at one of our meetings, and I want it to be the first of many to come, but all of the business owners in the room, if you are a business owner, can you please stand? Please take a look around this room. We have many people that we need to meet and do business with. And I want to be the first to congratulate you on the behalf of our board and the Regional Black Chamber of Commerce for taking that step and becoming that budding business entrepreneur. Because as we all know, this economy is built on the back of small businesses. We're here today to network, create new relationships, and gain a better understanding of what each of all of you do within the community as well as in your business. We're looking to provide opportunities for potential growth and development throughout our region. It is our hope of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce and our entire board that by the end of the program today, you meet and exchange business cards and create a new relationship with someone in this room who you did not know before. Again, on behalf of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce, I welcome you to the program today, and I hope that you all enjoy what we have prepared to give to you. And now, if you don't mind, stand and join with me to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and justice for all. Pastor Allen.
Will you pray with me, please? Will you bow your heads just for a moment? Heavenly Father, first, let us say thank you on behalf of all that are gathered here today. Thank you for your many blessings. Thank you for life itself, for the measure of health we need to fulfill our callings. We come to you today asking for your guidance, your wisdom, your support as we gather here today. Allow us to grow closer as a people and nurture the bonds of community. We pray that our hearts will be open to new things and innovative ideas that will promote success in every area of our lives. But we continue to be reminded that all we do and all that we accomplish gives glory to you. Now we ask that you would bless this meal. May this food nourish us. May this fellowship enrich us. And may the impact of the calories be minimal. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Greetings. I am David Senatian, Chairman of New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. The focus of this chamber is to expand business opportunities and foster growth for our members in order to create jobs and wealth. Our members employ more minority citizens than any other business group. The economic growth of the region is directly tied to the success of minority businesses. Our chamber has been extremely successful. By membership numbers alone, we have grown from 100 to over 500 plus members in a 4-year period. Yeah, I agree with that. We have created strong partnerships throughout the business community, including healthcare and hospitality industries. We have positioned our members to take advantage of these connections. Yes, membership has its benefits. We have begun laying the groundwork for expanding our reach across the state by connecting with Black chambers in Lafayette and Shreveport and developing plans to create ones in Baton Rouge, Alexandria, Monroe, and Lake Charles. This doesn't come without challenges. When we talk about supporting minority business, it has to make SCNSC and CNTS. Let's talk about that. The more you support minority businesses, the more employment and opportunities are for people, the better they can pay their people, the better education choices they make, the employees make, and everybody knows in this room, one of the big elephants is the greater the education, the lower incarceration. We are the largest incarcerated state in the nation, if you will, in the free world. And those people happen to look like me. So let's not dodge what it is. It is what it is. But the investment in minority community increases education, lowers incarceration. When we talk about recidivism, we talk about 73% in 18 months, 60% in the first 12 months. The lower that number, once again, the first stop of recidivism when they come out and someone wants to do better, they go to a minority business for two reasons. One, we don't have the box that they have to check if you've been incarcerated. Two, we're not intimidated by the way they look because they look like me. And that's just the facts. Let's talk about challenges. In 2017, the region's tourism business grew over $8 billion in annual revenue while still doing less than 1% with minority businesses. That's a challenge. Solution, we created the Biz-to-Biz Breakfast and Trade Fair, partnering with the Greater New Orleans Hotel and Lodging Association, which exposes our members directly to general managers and purchasing managers of those hotels, allowing a direct path to contracting opportunities in products and professional services. So yes, we have a challenge. Yes, we came up with a solution, and it's growing every year. Challenge, supporting each other. One of the issues, as Kalisha indicated by all the minority businesses standing up, is that we have to do business with each other. We created a solution for that. We created the Deliberate Spend 365 program to monitor member-to-member spending. With over 500 members spending $2,000 of their regular disposable business income a month, you come up with $1 million worth of member-to-member spend per month, and that's the goal. $1 million per month, month-to-month, member-to-member spend. And that's only $2,000 a month in regular disposable spend that you would normally do out of your business, we're spending with each other. Challenge, public policy as it relates to minority contracting opportunities. Solution, with other stakeholders, we participate in the creation of a stronger DBE policy with enforcement that is now part of the city's charter, section 70.432.1. Once again, the famed actor Sir Alec Guinness once said, failure has 1,000 explanations. Success doesn't need one. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Honorable Ms. Mayor LaToya Cantrell.
Well, good afternoon. All right, thank you so much for the love. But let me tell you something. I am one person, but I'm giving you the love right back because we are all in this together. Cannot do it alone, did not get here alone. And especially when we know that we have not only challenges ahead of us, but you know what? We have great opportunity. And that's how we need to be thinking about how we're going to move our city forward so that everyone has a fair shake and a fair chance, and especially as it relates to our Black-owned businesses in the city of New Orleans. So good afternoon, and I appreciate you inviting me here just to give you a few brief remarks. Now, you all know better than me that the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce is a staple in our community in the city of New Orleans. And just hearing the growth within the past year, we have really a lot to celebrate. We're moving in the right direction, and the leadership is taking us there. And not only that, the Black Chamber of Commerce has truly been unwavering in supporting the needs of our Black-owned businesses here in the city. One, working along with the collaborative to ensure that the city of New Orleans not only talked about a disparity study, but being on the New Orleans City Council, we put our mouths, I'm telling you, our money where our mouths were when talking about that disparity study. And when we got back the results, which we already knew, but it's always good when you have the facts before you and you cannot make it up. Only 2% of the receipts are going to minority-owned businesses in the city of New Orleans, which means that we have work to do, but we're on the right track with that. We have started a new era in the city of New Orleans that's not just about a new administration. So I want you to understand that. This is about new leadership across the board, new partnerships, strong partnerships that we're going to move forward, and ensuring that we really do not just talk about equity, but that we get there, and we get there together. So I'm only 12 days on the job now, 12 days. I think I have about 1,334 days to go within this current administration, but I do want to recommit myself to you and the Cantrell administration of being laser focused on building equity, meeting our people where they are, our businesses, because the future of this city truly does depend upon that. Just yesterday, or really 2 days ago, when I had to sign the paperwork for business cards, looked at, okay, who's the contract with, that sort of thing. When you really do, just be intentional, about who's getting the business. Not even, you may think it's small, but it really does matter. So I'm looking at the little things as well as the big things so that we can have real opportunity for all people. I just want you to know that. And so, like me, inclusion is the greatest asset that we have in our city. So we're going to make sure, again, that we're focusing on all. And we have to also make sure that our Black-owned businesses get the shake and the opportunity. Now, I've talked about it in my inaugural speech about giving folks a chance, one chance, two chance, even a third chance. But I also mentioned that we have a lot of folks that haven't done anything wrong. When you talk about a chance, sometimes it's affiliated with something's happened. But we have people who have done everything right, who've checked every box, who've done everything expected, but still don't get that fair shake. But we're going to make sure that the shake is not only given, but we see the results that penetrate through our communities and where our people are living throughout the city of New Orleans. So I thank you again for this opportunity, and I look forward to working with you as your mayor, in which you have ensured that I have this truly wonderful responsibility that I take very seriously. So thank you again, and let's have a great lunch.
I'm back. It is my honor right now to bring up we used to call it the Secretary of Labor, if you will, but Ava Dejoie is Executive Director of the Louisiana Workforce Commission. She was appointed by Governor John Bell Edwards in January 2016. As Executive Director, Ms. Dejoie is responsible for providing strategic vision to enhance the growth of Louisiana economy and its workforce. By putting people to work and fulfilling family-sustaining careers, the Commission monitors, employs, and administers unemployment compensation and tax funds, provides training resources for employees and job seekers. The LWC also gathers and supplies information on labor market and occupational sectors in Louisiana. Ms. Dejoie has more than 20 years of leadership experience in the public administration and is passionate about finding solutions that make Louisiana an outstanding place in which to live, work, and grow a business. Her focus on private policy field took root when she served as an interim in the office of U.S. John Senator Breaux's office. Dejoie joined the LWC in 2012, and most recently was statewide coordinator of the Rapid Response Team. It is my honor and pleasure to bring up my personal friend, Ms. Ava Dejoie.
It's so good to be home and again amongst so many friends, and only, as my son calls him, Uncle Saint, could get me here today. All of you as well. My child is graduating from high school this afternoon, and when we were in the car, he said, "But you got to do it for Uncle Saint. Plus, it's in New Orleans." So I'm very happy to be here and honored to be here with the mayor and all of you as well. It's my pleasure and honor to serve with an incredible group of folks and be an appointee of Governor Edwards. And one of the wonderful things about when we go to cabinet meeting is that I'm not the only person that looks like me. I serve with Secretary Sean Wilson, who you guys will hear from later, Kimberly Robinson, Chuck Brown, and Juana Lombard. And those are the folks at the cabinet level, but all around us, all in the Edwards administration, there is a commitment to diversity, a commitment to inclusion, and it is wonderful to be in that environment. And it trickles down, it makes a difference. I reached out when we were looking at our WIC board members, our Workforce Investment Council, our state board members, and luckily we were able to tap Todd McDonald to be the new chair of the WIC. And David St. Etienne, yes, to be the industry-based certification council member. So they are on the front lines, making sure that the conversations that this group and others have are brought to the forefront. They're serving on a number of other state advisory boards because of that. So they are passionate, powerful, and vocal advocates for your interest. It's an interest that I believe I share, that's ingrained in me. I'm proud to say that when I go down Aretha Castle Haley, I still think of it sometimes as Dryde Street, because that's where my family had a business on Dryde Street. And I know the history of minority businesses here in New Orleans, and it's one of the things that I'm committed to helping to grow statewide, and it's what the Workforce Commission is all about, helping businesses grow. We're not the regulatory agency that some may see us as, but we have programs to help you and your businesses, and we have opportunities for training that you guys can take advantage of that I'd like to share with you here today briefly. And it's kind of tough going after the mayor and before Sean. The pressure's on, but I did want to make an announcement first that I hope steals at least Sean's thunder. We released Bureau of Labor Statistics numbers today, and it's what our agency does. And Louisiana is at an all-time record high for employment, an all-time record high. 2,042,000 people. There's never been a time when more Louisianians have been employed. So we're committed to making sure that we get even more Louisianians employed and that we help your businesses to grow. And you might ask, well, how's the Workforce Commission doing that? You guys are the guys that come up for OSHA and maybe things that I'm not interested in, but a huge part of the Workforce Commission, the nearly $300 million budget that we have, is all about training. It's focused on how we can help businesses grow and people to achieve economic prosperity. In our Office of Workforce Development, they have a number of programs that I strongly encourage you to take advantage of. First of all, are there any local board members in the room? Local board, I saw Dr. Montgomery in the back. I know she's on the local board. Sheila Burns is the chair of the Job One here. But those local offices, we get about a $40 million allocation in federal WIOA funding. That money flows to the locals. If you're asked to serve on a local board, or if you're looking for good individuals, trained individuals, those local boards can help you. In addition to that, we have incumbent worker training program. It's specifically for Louisiana businesses. If you have been in business in Louisiana for 3 years, paying into the Unemployment Insurance Trust Fund, you can take advantage of these funds. If you're a larger business with 50 or more employers, there's a contract training component. But if you're a small business, we have SBET. You can get up to $3,000 to train one of your existing employees. It's $3,000 of free money that's available because you're paying into the trust fund. If you're an accounting company and you need one of your staff members to take a new accounting class, it's a 2-page application. You pay it, we give it the okay, and we reimburse you in 30 days, which is pretty phenomenal for most places. You know, it's pretty good, 30-day reimbursement. And to give you an idea of how big companies are taking advantage of it, Graphic Packaging in Monroe did a grant this past year, and what they focused on was safety and maintenance. And as a result of that, they added 28 days to their business cycle. Think about that. You know, instead of having 365 days a year that they're up and running their conveyor belts, packaging M&Ms and Snickers and everything else, they have 380-something days doing that same thing. What that added to their profit allowed them to expand. And that's just the kind of opportunity that we want to grow and increase with small businesses taking advantage of incumbent worker. So that SBET program, please, please, please take a look at it. Also, I know that many of you, and the mayor touched on it, are focused on giving folks a second chance. Work Opportunity Tax Credit is a wonderful, wonderful program. If you hired a disabled veteran, you can get up to $7,500 in a tax credit. If you've hired an ex-offender, there's another amount of credit. And if you've hired someone that's been on public assistance, it's important to get those applications filed in 30 days. It's an online thing, but depending on what are the barriers of the employee you've taken on, you're getting a tax credit for those employees. So it's a wonderful, wonderful, just something that adds to your bottom line. And the company in the United States that takes advantage of this the most is Walmart, to the tune of over $100 million. So small businesses can take advantage of this as well, and I would strongly encourage you to take a look at that. I mentioned our local offices. We're doing training programs all across the state. Right now, we are recruiting for a lineman training program that we're funding down at Fletcher Technical College in Houma. The value of it is $7,500 of the training. Those folks will get a CDL. I believe that Entergy is in fact providing the instructor for the class. They'll be certified lineman trainers when they complete this coursework and ready to go to work. But that's the sort of thing that we can do for your small companies as well through on-the-job training, reimbursing wages up to 50% for up to 6 months. There are incredible things going on at the Workforce Commission, or as I still like to say, the Department of Labor. We're still trying to go back to that. We'll try again next session. In addition to those things, I would like to share with you that while we are the enforcement entity for some things, such as OSHA, I would strongly encourage you again to take advantage of our OSHA counselors. If you have an OSHA counselor that comes out to your facility, they do that for free. They will tell you everything that you might need to improve. They give you a plan to improve it. And as a result, your EMOD rating goes down, which saves you on your workers' comp. And I touched a minute ago on unemployment insurance. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that our trust fund at nearly $1 billion, $989 million, is the 12th strongest in the nation. That means that if we didn't collect another penny, we'd be able to pay out benefits for nearly 17 months, and that's phenomenal. Our tax rate for UI is also the second lowest in the nation. So we're working to keep your costs down as well. We want to be good stewards of your tax dollars. There are many opportunities that are going on in the Workforce Commission, but one that I'm truly, truly excited about, and our apprenticeship director is here with us today, Joseph Hollins. We are focused on apprenticeship because it's earn while you learn. We know in New Orleans, light bills go up in the summertime. People can't be in training if they don't have some money coming in the door. And that's what apprenticeship is about, earn while you learn. So we've increased our number of apprentices by over 1,000 this year. And finally, they're telling me time, but I did want to say it's not just lip service. I was proud 2 weeks ago to receive that we were the agency. Now my budget is much
less than Secretary Wilson. He's got about a $700 billion budget, but my $300 million budget, we won our agency, the Hudson Initiative, for having the most increased participation with minority business. The commitment is real. I look forward to working with each one of you all. Obviously, I could go on about our programs, on and on, but I'm here anytime you guys need me. I'm always looking for an excuse and a reason to come home. I miss home so much. Thank you all for having me today. It was my honor to be here. Thanks.
So I think many of you guys know that I'm a stickler for time. So just want to keep everybody going. So first I would like to bring up to this stage one young gentleman that I know many of you guys have seen speak in the community, but I wanted to make sure that he could come and share a little bit of intimate information with our group, and that's Mr. Michael Heck. He is the president and CEO of the Greater New Orleans, Inc., and it is the economic development agency for Southeast Louisiana. Some of you here may not know that we cover the same 10 parishes that GNO Inc. covers, so we work hand in hand with them on some of their initiatives, their policies, very good friends with Michael and his team. Before coming to GNO Inc., Michael led the $250 million Katrina Small Business Recovery Program for the state. Previous to coming home to Louisiana, he also worked for Mayor Michael Bloomberg in New York City, running the 9/11 Small Business Program. So we thought that it was a great fit for us to have the CEO of GNO Inc., Mr. Michael Heck, come and share with us briefly this afternoon. Please welcome him to this podium. Michael, can you share just a little bit about GNO Inc. with the crowd?
Great, Kalisha, it's great to be here today, and David, thank you so much. I just want to let y'all know that thanks to their leadership, the partnership between the Regional Black Chamber and GNO Inc. is better than it's ever been, and it's great to see so many friends and associates here, including Tara Hernandez, a past board chair at GNO Inc. there, throwing me the peace sign. That's right. But it's great. Just really briefly, as Kalisha said, we're the economic development organization for the 10 southeast parishes of Louisiana. We used to describe our mission as creating jobs and wealth in the region, and that's all true. But we realized it wasn't really resonating with folks. It kind of said the what, but not the why. And so a few months ago, we actually changed our mission, and now we just say that the mission of GNO Inc. is to create a greater New Orleans where our kids and our grandkids can stay. That's all it is. Because, you could thank her from table 32. But if you think about it, isn't that what it's all about? Is that if we have enough job opportunity and decent enough quality of life with schools and safeties and park, then our kids and our grandkids can stay here. They don't have to leave, and that's kind of the whole ball game. So, Kalisha, that's the mission of GNO Inc. Thanks.
Thank you so much for sharing. And then we would also like to bring to the podium our Secretary, Sean Wilson, of the Department of Transportation and Development. For 10 years, prior to being appointed as Secretary by Governor John Bel Edwards, Dr. Sean Wilson served as the Chief of Staff for the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development. It was a role that he filled for 3 previous secretaries and under the new executive administration of 2 governors. Prior to joining DOTD, Dr. Wilson also served as Executive Director of the Louisiana Serve Commission and Deputy Legislative Director for Kathleen Blanco, the first female governor of Louisiana. A proud product of the New Orleans Public Schools, Dr. Wilson grew up in Algiers, where he graduated from O. Perry Walker High School before earning a BA in Urban and Regional Planning from the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. Dr. Wilson, that deserves applause as well. Dr. Wilson's community service covers a variety of personal and community interests, and we thought it would be grand for the leader of our Department of Transportation and Development to come and speak to us about those opportunities that many of you all may not be aware of. So, Dr. Wilson, thank you.
Thank you, Kalisha. Good afternoon. Just before we get into our dialogue with Michael, who I had the pleasure of watching him moderate yesterday for Infrastructure Week. Kalisha asked us to share a little bit about what we do at the Department of Transportation. Most importantly, you should know that DOTD is an organization of 4,200 employees. We manage a number of issues with a $2 billion budget. I'd like the raise that Ava gave us, but it's a $2 billion budget. And if it begins with an R, we have it. Roads, runways, railways, rivers, runways, railways, rivers, roads, and it's over and over and over again. We've got a wonderful infrastructure that's multimodal. We have 16,000 miles of roads, about 1,000 of them are interstates. And most importantly, because you are all businesses, we distributed last year over $800 million in contract work. But most importantly, as we sit here and engage and about to begin a discussion on DBEs, as my friend Tara likes to say, diverse business enterprises and not just disadvantaged, because you're not disadvantaged if you're in the DBE program, you're just diverse. The most important thing we can tell you is when I became secretary, we increased our goal from 9% to 13.9%. And I stand here proudly to tell you we did not hit it yet, but we're at the 11% mark halfway through the year. And that is a good thing as far as the dollars that we're sharing. I look forward to visiting with each and every one of you as we can to talk about what DOTD can do with your business and for your business here in Louisiana. Kalisha?
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. So, Michael, Louisiana and the 10-parish region that you focus on has seen a positive increase in significant rankings for impacts as a leader in business growth, both from a brain gain perspective, innovative markets, and many more. Can you share some of the recent recognized rankings that we have received and just give us a little bit of highlight into that market's transition?
Great, happy to, Kalisha. Well, I'll start out with just some of the announcements that have happened recently, which have led to rankings. Who here has heard about DXC technology? Y'all aware of this? All right, well, you're about to be made aware of this. If you go around the corner outside after the luncheon, you'll see up on what was previously called the Freeport-McMoran building is now going to be the DXC Technology building. We're having a grand opening there on Wednesday, Madam Mayor, and they are going to be putting 2,000 tech jobs right here on Poydras Street. It's incredible. This is the biggest economic development jobs win in New Orleans and Louisiana history, and we were voted the #2 economic development jobs win in the country last year, coming out only behind the $3 billion Apple deal in Wisconsin. We beat out 30 other cities in the country to get this deal, and New Orleans is their new home. And then in case that wasn't enough, a couple of weeks ago we announced up on the river, Formosa is going in. They're putting in a $9.4 billion facility, but it's going to have 1,200 jobs with average salary of $85,000. Then there are going to be 8,000 construction jobs and 8,000 more indirect jobs. You can clap on that one too. It's the biggest project ever announced on the Mississippi River. And that's why I'm working with Secretary Wilson to get the train going so we can get everybody from here to there to get the jobs, right?
Well, so since Michael kind of threw that one back to you, and I wanted to say those are excellent imports coming into our state and making their home here. But what I also want you all to understand is those are opportunities for our small businesses to do business with these organizations that are coming in. And again, so Secretary Wilson, there has been an uptick in conversations regarding regionalism, right? That's being promoted throughout the Southern Corridor. Can you share your thoughts on how our members can take advantage of and participate in those opportunities, promoting our regionalism and hopefully working along the river to get our transportation together?
So infrastructure is really about mobility. Everything you own, buy, sell, or trade, or work with has engaged in our transportation system, whether it came through a port or off of the back of a truck or a railroad. Most importantly, when you think about regionalism, when you think about transit, that's how you connect people. When you move people, you create jobs, you create interest and investment. And so as we look to do things like restore the Gulf Coast Railroad from mobility, from Mobile to New Orleans, and then also build the rail super region from Baton Rouge to New Orleans, that's really about regionalism. It's really about bringing people to different opportunities for jobs, for work. The other thing that we have to start doing is thinking out of the box in terms of how we move people from our hubs within our region. And so one of the priorities that I'd like to begin working on is how do you build a rail system from the airport into downtown? Because it's a lot easier and much more efficient to do that than have you sit in traffic and try to build that capacity. So in terms of growing your business, how you can connect in that, get outside of your comfort zone and get outside of your geographic realm and network. Partnering with other entities and agencies that are doing the type of work that we put out on the street for folks to bid on and compete with. And so whether you're spreading your wings as a chamber, whether you're spreading your wings as a business and finding like-minded individuals in other areas, because you duplicate your resource, you duplicate your opportunities to compete. And the last thing I'll say in terms of our DBE piece, we're concentrating on regionalism in our support services, where we're going to divide that service up so that we can be a lot closer to where the rubber meets the road, where folks need the support and the encouragement and the networking support to continue to do work.
Thank you, thank you. And I like what you said, where you have to get outside of your comfort zone. We try to promote that with our members and encourage them to get outside of their comfort zones. One of the consultants I work with says, if you don't have an ouch moment, you're really not growing that business. You need to be able to say ouch and understand that sometimes uncomfortability will bring you into your next level. It makes you break through.
It does, but I would like to just tell you one of the challenges we see with small businesses. Oftentimes they come and say, Secretary Wilson, we've not had an opportunity to get work. And then I turn around and say, how often have you bid? When's the last time you submitted on a project? Those are those things that I can't help if you can't submit a support. So getting out of that comfort zone means you're going to have to bid more often. You may not win every bid, but the more you bid, the more work you're going to get.
Exactly. And another way to get a little bit uncomfortable is to kind of help with the policy and the focus of emphasis on business development and recruitment that GNO Inc. is doing. I know that we need to say ouch there as well. Our elected officials who are here oftentimes look to the business community. If you are having a problem, you oftentimes go to address that concern with that elected officials, but how often do you go and support those policies and initiatives that they bring to the table where they need you to vocalize that support in order to get those things passed? And I know you guys are working on some policy, and I would like for you to share a little bit of information about that.
Great, thank you. You're the queen of segue right there. You get me from A to B. I don't even know what happened. One stat that I didn't get a chance to say before, I just want to say before I answer this question is, even before the DXC announcement, our community was #1 in the country, according to the U.S. Census, for technology job growth. #1 in the country, and within that, we are #5 for women and #5 for minorities participating in that growth. That's what we call inclusive innovation, and we should be very, very proud of it happening right here in New Orleans. It's true. I think, Alicia, you were talking about incentives. There are a couple of incentives everybody in here should be thinking about. The first is the quality jobs incentive. A lot of businesses can get 6% of their payroll back for 10 years. Then there's some very rich incentives. One is the digital media incentive, where you can get 25% of your money back if you're doing programming here in Louisiana. If you want to find out more about this, come to GNO Inc. and we'll do an incentives audit for you. Are the prices right? It's free. We'll basically tell you where the money is and if you can get it. And then there's two things that are coming online right now that folks need to know about, very exciting. One is a state program. It's the Qualified Entertainment Company Incentive. I don't know if you all know about this, but if you are doing audio or video production in Louisiana, you can now get 20% of all of your costs for your entire company, your hard costs, your rent, your overhead back, up to $1 million if you are doing audio or video here in Louisiana. That's how we can grow our own companies in audio and video. And the other one is opportunity zones. Y'all might be hearing a little bit about this. They're the next big thing. What I can tell you is that there's going to be more money flowing through HUD under the current administration than under the Obama administration, unbelievably, and it's going to be going through opportunity zones. The vast majority of New Orleans is an opportunity zone, and in an opportunity zone, somebody can take a capital gains, and instead of paying the capital gains tax on that, if they go and invest it in an opportunity zone, in construction, in a company, they can defer those gains until 2026. So keep your eye on opportunity zones. I think there's going to be a lot of money flowing through there. coming through New Orleans and Louisiana.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. So, Secretary Wilson, I want to touch just briefly, as we get to our close, on the types of certifications that your organization offers. I know you guys are focused on a DBE certification as well as some other outreach. And if there are specific licenses or types of insurance or things that those who may be in this audience who are looking to do business with your agency should have prior to coming to respond to a bid. Can you share that information?
Certainly. So we believe in our marketplace being competitive. And so folks who submit and come to DOTD for work in the world of construction, we ask them and suggest that they go and visit AGC, ABC, and all of those other construction-related organizations, because they will provide you the network, the training, and the support to get the certifications. Most importantly, you have to be licensed in Louisiana, but the thing that makes or breaks a number of small businesses is their ability to be bonded and their ability for the capacity of work that they do. And we oftentimes find that it's not the licenses that's the issue, it's the ability to be competitive and to be engaged in the bid process. What's your network? What's your support system? Or are you tracking our online bidding because it's all electronic? Oftentimes we find small businesses have a hard time to compete because as we are bidding, they're actually working. So having a dedicated individual or group of people to comb the records to see what projects are coming out, cultivate them as they work, we find that that's a greater hurdle than the licenses and certifications. There are other DBE certifications that you can get in other areas, but our unified program will apply that and recognize that. And then the other thing I'll say to folks is make sure that you pay attention to the type of work we do. This is one of the big misnomers about DOTD. Because we certify in a number of areas, the $800+ million that we contract out, it's in the construction realm. And so the vast majority of that is going to be on the heavy side of construction and not on the business management, strategic development, because our businesses do that on their own. That's not something we pay them for, so we can't tie that increased goal of 13.09% to that aspect. And so while we certify all businesses, we do not engage in that type of business activity at the department.
So, and I think that's why we wanted to bring both of you guys together so we can show just what is going on throughout the region and what are some current opportunities that are there. So as we close this little speaking segment, if you can just share some closing remarks with them and pretty much tell them what do you think the next steps are and where they should go from each of you agencies. Michael?
Well, I think there's two things. One is, we're a small organization, GNO Inc., and we rely on y'all to be our eyes and ears. So if you see an opportunity or if you see a problem, come to us. If we don't know about it, Chief, if you see something, say something, right? That's what we would say, right? The second thing is that if your business has a workforce need that is not being met, come to us. Based on these types of conversations, we now have programs going on like a water management program at Dillard, an applied chemistry program at Xavier, a construction program at UNO, and the digital program that UNO set up with GE has been so good that GE is now hiring over 90% of its people locally. So if you have a workforce or hiring need, come to us. We'll connect you to one of our great 2- and 4-year schools. And ultimately, y'all, it's about doing the right things to keep our kids here. That's the game. So thank you for your support. Thanks, Kalisha.
Thank you.
A couple of things. One, exercise innovation. Bring innovations to the marketplace and bring it to our attention. That's one thing I think the future is going to hold is how do you do things differently, more affordably, more effectively. The last thing I'll say in terms of what you can expect in the future from DOTD is we're changing the model of how we procure work. We have our first public-private partnership on the table, which puts this project of the Belle Chase Bridge and Tunnel squarely in the marketplace. We've got over 20 companies from around the world that are interested in working on that project and bidding, and now is the time to reach out to those 20 companies to say, here is what we can do, because that's a long-term relationship of operations and maintenance, and that's on our website at dotd.la.gov for those who are interested. And then the last thing I'll tell you, the last thing is we've got about $650 million of work forthcoming that the governor and I announced over 6 or 7 months ago on some design build projects, the Loyola interchange, widening the bridge to the split, as well as the Barksdale interchange in Bossier. And all of those projects are long-term projects that are going to have construction 2 years, 3 years, and in the case of Baton Rouge, 5 or 6 years. So the most important thing is to get on the ground floor, pay attention to those bids, and until the legislature gets serious about investing in infrastructure, I can't tell you there's going to be something more robust about infrastructure in Louisiana other than that $650 million. So get on the train that Michael talked about.
It sounds amazing. Thank you guys so much for coming out to share with us this afternoon. And I'm sure that each and every one here wants to hear more, so they'll be definitely looking to get in touch with you all. Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Kalisha.
Liz. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
It's my pleasure now to bring up to this podium our membership chair, Dr. Margaret Montgomery Reshort.
Was that not a great discussion? Did you learn something? Because New Orleans Regional Black Chamber Luncheon is not just about coming and looking cute. It's also about getting some really good information that you can take back to your business, help to grow your business as a small business owner. I know how important it is. Every minute is valuable to you. So we just want to thank our speakers for just sharing that insight with us. Now, my job here as membership chair is to talk a little bit about what are the benefits of joining the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber. You've heard a little bit about it, and today we are actually going to have some of our members come up and share some of what we call their elevator speech about their business. I think, where is Chantel? Chantel Green. She's not here? Because last year before last, she got an opportunity, and she can share with you about the growth of her business. But benefits of joining the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber has to do a lot with business networking. And I'm sure some of you have done a little bit of that while you're here today. And we talk a little bit about 365, deliberate spending. We heard our mayor encourage that. We each make very conscious effort of trying to spend money with each other. And of course, today we're going to spotlight 6 of our members, where they're going to share their elevator spill with you. We also have an opportunity for all members to just come out to our chat and choose, and where you share information about your business as well as get information about other businesses, build some partnerships. When our Secretary of DOTD said something about building capacity, you come to Chat and Chew and you learn, how can I build capacity for my company that I can maybe go after that contract that somebody said I couldn't get, you know? Because as a small business, you hear that a lot about what you can't do. But what we want to encourage you to do is teach you how to do what you can. You can do it. What they say, Nike says, just do it. And we encourage you to do that. Then we have our weekly chamber chat e-newsletter that comes out to every member. And of course, we do business referrals. And most of all, we are advocates for our small businesses. We just want to encourage you to do that and to continue to grow and develop. I see our chair coming up over here. Are we ready for our first? I'm going to shut up and let our first company, who's up right now, and I'm going to let her come on up. And we have 5 companies that will do about a minute, give you a quick feel about their company. I'm going to move over here. You can come front and center, and I'm going to move to the side.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. I am Lakeisha Robichaux, CEO of Chief of Minds. I would like to thank David and Kalisha and the rest of the board for this opportunity. At Chief of Minds, we do outsource human resources, payroll, and training for businesses that do not have an HR department. So this focuses on payroll, benefits, staffing, sexual harassment training, you name it, we do it. We want to take the burden of the onboarding, employee handbooks off of your plate so that way you can focus on your business. And as you know, lately, I know you've seen in the news all the many claims around sexual harassment. That's one of our main focuses right now, is ensuring that our clients have the policies and procedures that they need and that training to make sure that reduced liability is there for their company. So we love to partner with you. Again, I'm Lakeisha Robichaux with Chief of Minds, and we do outsource human resources, payroll, and training. Thank you so much.
All right. Give Lakeisha Robichaux a round of applause for our Chief of Minds. Next, we have Ms. Pat Hightower, Bayou Equity Mortgage.
Good afternoon, and thank you to the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber, Lakeisha, and David for this opportunity to introduce myself and my company. As she said, I'm Patricia Hightower. I'm broker-owner of Bayou Equity Mortgage. For most of you, you think of mortgages and you think maybe of banks, but I need you to understand that mortgage companies, all we do are mortgages. We are licensed across the state of Louisiana with a primary focus in metropolitan New Orleans. My staff and I have over 60 years of experience. We do all types of loans. The greatest thing about Bayou Equity Mortgage comes under the umbrella of two things. We educate and we get our loans closed fast. If you've ever done any type of loan, whether it's business or purchasing a home, most times it's a very tedious and arduous process. We close loans in 22 days. That's 1 day beyond 3 weeks. That is something to be very proud of. So if you are looking for a mortgage loan, please think about Bayou Equity Mortgage, where we finance dreams without nightmares. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Pat. Next we have Ms. Patricia Jones with Canon.
Good afternoon, everybody. I got bumped up, so here I go. All right, this is Patricia Jones. You seeing up here. I'm with Canon Electric and General Contracting. We are a general contractor, as I said, that focuses on electrical work. The last time we spoke with you, we wanted you to remember two things. That was safety and for us to be a resource for you. I believe that we should offer a few things every time we come up. So today we came bearing gifts. Somebody told me one time, nothing plus nothing usually means nothing, but a little something from us and a little something from you, I think we can do some big things together. So we are offering today for you to do, if you can, and you're interested in some electrical services, and since I'm a member of the committee, the membership committee, we like to offer you a special deal here. And that is you will buy one, get one free of an electrician for some work. If you go to book.galcan.com, galcanelectric.com, you will get some free services since you came to this luncheon. So think of this luncheon as on Galcan today. Test me, try me, and see what I'm talking about. All right? This is Patricia Jones, Galcan Electric. We would love to be a resource for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you so much. Next we have Big Ed Robinson, L&R Security.
Good morning, glad to be here. I want to thank everybody for allowing us this opportunity. My name is Ed Robinson. I'm the CEO and president of L&R Security Services, a firm that is diverse. We're in the patrol business. We also do construction sites, and we do just about anything. We call our motto, no job is too big or too small. So if you need one guard, call us. If you need 100, call us. We just completed the Jazz Fest with 300 security officers, and that's our 37th year with the Jazz Fest. And we're looking for opportunities to team with younger folks or other folks who may need a security component on their contract business. Ed Robinson, L&R Security Service, 36 years of business. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. And next we have Mr. Eddie Compass coming up. Eddie's company is ABC, Title, and Floor.
How you guys doing? My name's Eddie Compass. I'm actually here on behalf of my wife, Mrs. Andrea Compass. Thank you guys for the opportunity. We're really excited to join the Regional Black Chamber, see so many familiar faces. So for all the contractors out there, if you need any tile, flooring, you name it, my wife has it. She gave me very, very direct directions to let you guys know at Memorial Day there'll be a big sale we're having for all of the contractors that are members of the Regional Black Chamber. We're excited to be here. Our website is abctile.com. And anything, like my man said, with the railroads, roads, so with floors, and more. So give us a chance. Thank you, guys. We're so excited to be here. It's abctile.com. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Eddie. Next we have, she needs no introduction, Miss Yossi herself. I am Tucker.
How y'all doing? Good afternoon. First of all, thank y'all for putting on a beautiful luncheon. We're proud to be members of the Black Chamber of Commerce. My name is I Am Tucker. I own a company called Integrated Logistical Support Incorporated, otherwise known as ILSI Engineering. We specialize in civil engineering, structural engineering, construction management, and program management. We've been doing government contracting for 24 years. I've been at the helm of the company for 11 years. We are very excited about whatever infrastructure projects coming up. Again, we do total infrastructure and really being a part of teams that are meaningful and thoughtful and intentional in diverse participation and partnership. And I look forward to working with many of you here. We already work with a lot of you here, but it's great to see everyone. Thank you so much.
Mr. WTAA, I just heard him at the table, and he's going to give his name. Are you sponsoring?
Yeah, my name is W.T. Winfield. I'm the manager of WTAA Engineering. We've been around a long time, and we're very fortunate to have had the opportunity to work on one of the finest projects that came our way, and that was the 1.5 miles of Canal Street streetcar from South Cedar Street to the graveyards. And I'm so very proud. It's been a few years, but that was one of the best projects that we have ever had an opportunity to work on here in New Orleans, with no change orders and no corrections at all. And you know it's got that major curve, so it's very important. But we are a multi-discipline engineering firm. We can handle such a variety of things, from churches, schools, streets and roads, and many airport projects. But most of all, we want to thank you for giving us an opportunity to speak to you and to let you be aware that we are still in need of additional engineers. So if you're in electrical, PE, mechanical, structural, civil, we need you. Please apply. We're on the webpage. Thank you.
And so if you have not joined the New Orleans Black Chamber, we're out there. We will take your credit card, your check, your cash. Join today if you are not a member. And as you can tell, there are benefits in becoming a member of the New Orleans Black Chamber.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you so much. So again, thank you. And congratulations to those individuals who have come up and shared with us very briefly about their businesses. But again, I would like to thank you all for your attendance and attention. I hope that you've learned of the ways that your businesses can grow and expand throughout our region. I would like to thank our speakers, the Honorable Mayor Cantrell, Ava Dejoie, Michael Heck, and Secretary Sean Wilson, for sharing their thoughts and encouragement with us. Again, please do note, if you are not a member, our membership committee is outside, and we have some ambassadors out there who are very ready to share with you information about the chamber. I just want to do a couple of housekeeping notes. We do have some membership directories on the table. We also have Unique Access magazine that has been provided by one of our sponsors here, as well as a card that tells you a little bit about our upcoming golf tournament that will be held on October 5th at the Joseph Bartholomew Golf Course in Pontchartrain Park. So again, I want to thank you, and I want to let David close the show.
Absolutely. Look, thank you once again. We have Kalisha did a fantastic job, the staff. Will all the board members of New Orleans Regional Chamber of Commerce stand up? All the board members of New Orleans Regional Chamber of Commerce stand up. We want to acknowledge all of our board members. And thank you so much. Once again, our sponsors, the title sponsor, PSAV and the Hyatt, for hosting, as well as Blue Cross Blue Shield, New Orleans African, Channel 8, Channel 4. You see me reading. Fox 8 is the real.
And Fox 8 is listed there on the show, right? That's it?
Absolutely.
We are on time.
We're on time.
Thank
We're
you guys.
done.
Y'all
Thank
get
you.
back to work.
Also, grab some breakthrough magazines out there too on the table. Grab a magazine. Thank y'all.